to Ichu for today's video with a full Friendguard ability Pokemon team. Basically, what this ability does, the Pokemon's allies receive 3/4 damage from other Pokemon's attacks. So it does 25% less damage. So it essentially makes you more bulky. Now, not a lot of Pokemon actually get this ability, and they're not very good Pokemon either. So this was a very, very tough team to do. Really only having Morsault and Vivillon as the best Pokemon to choose from here. And the rest are like middle stage babies that learn hardly any moves. So it was a very, very tough challenge, but it was pretty fun. So first bout lead, this one is against Dre or Dre, I don't know how to say that name, and we've got a Morsault. So this is a pretty standard sort of Morsault set, but with its signature move Population Bomb, it doesn't really hit very hard due to having Friend Guard over Technician. So usually I try to lead with a Pokemon that could direct the attacks like Clefairy with Follow Me, and then try and boost my stats with Tidy Up. So this matchup is okay, I guess. We're going to boost our stats, and we've got a Cerulege and a Toxtricity lead here. Now, Toxtricity does get quite a few moves that can hit both of us, and interestingly enough, the Cerulege went for a Curse there, so it's going to put a Curse on Clefairy, and it was a rather interesting set. So it's going to have Electroweb. Electroweb is going to hit both of a Morsault and Clefairy, but I was very lucky one of them missed, so I didn't take any speed drops or damage. So Clefairy is kind of getting targeted at the moment, which was fine. I was thinking this turn, well, I can go for Crunch on the Cerulege, get rid of that, and I could use Helping Hand on Clefairy to boost the power of that. I was pretty sure that I could get rid of it anyway. I was just a bit like, I don't know, I smell a rat right. When I say Curse, I'm like, is this going to be some like really, really bulky set? Maybe I should just make sure it faints and, get rid of it, because it could be a problem here. So on my Clefairy, I've got more of a defensive set. I've got like this max health and max defense Calm Nature, and Helping Hand, Follow Me, Heal Pulse, and Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going for Crunch from the Morsault, and it lived. I'm like, what? How did that live? And then it had a Focus Band. I was like, oh, come on, you wouldn't read about it right. So Curse, Focus Band. And the other move, I was like, well, I bet you this has Bitter Blade, right? Because that would make total sense, like Bitter Blade and Curse. That's like a Pipnite special set. So we've got some recovery there on the Cerulege. And now we've got the Toxtricity going for Psychic Noise. So Psychic Noise is going to stop Clefairy healing for 3 turns. Not that's too much of a problem or anything like that. I wasn't really going to do that anyway. So it's got a Throat Spray as the item, obviously boosting its special attack. I really need to get rid of both of these Pokemon. So Clefairy's going to take another Curse. At this point, there's no real purpose in me swapping Clefairy out. It's just going to faint, so I may as well just use it for either Follow Me or try and get some damage with Dazzling Gleam. I decided to go for the Follow Me here, redirecting at least some of the attacks here. I know that that has Electroweb already, and it's probably going to use it. So I'm going for Crunch again, and Cerulege this time is going to faint, so no Focus Band activation. Now, I would have been salty if that did like twice in a row. So now it's going to go for Electroweb like I knew it would, and Morsault just barely hangs on thanks to the Friend Guard ability, which is pretty cool. Now, I've got some a little bit of trivia about Friend Guard as well. I'll say it in a little bit. And next Pokemon here is going to be Spewpa. Now, Spewpa, surprisingly, I took a lot of people off guard with Spewpa, how tanky it was and how well it served as a Rage Powder user. So this Spewpa is purely like status move. It learned very, very little moves anyway. So we got Rage Powder, Stun Spore, String Shot, and Iron Defense. So it's got Everlight, and I made it just defensive. So max health and max defense. It's got 60 base and defense, which is its highest stat actually, and I thought I'd go with Bold Nature. So it was actually pretty good at tanking a lot of the hits. So out goes the Honchkrow, and now I'm going to get Taunted, which kind of sucks. I was like, do I want to swap Spewpa out, or do I just want to sack it off to Struggle or something like that? Then they swapped into Darkrai, so they're obviously going to go for like spamming Dark Void. I was like, well, I have to get rid of the Darkrai here. So I'm going for that Population Bomb. It's doing some pretty good damage here. But most of the time, I found I did need a Tidy Up, because even with, let's say, 10 hits, there were Pokemon that were living that weren't like overly like super bulky. So I got rid of the Darkrai, which is good. And here comes the Electroweb. That's going to do a lot of damage to Spewpa as well. Everlight and Friend Guard kind of saving me there. So I'm going to go for Struggle. I didn't really want to swap out. It's a Spewpa, it's good at tanking physical attacks. That's about it. But yeah, we're going to go into Happity now. Now, Happity doesn't get a lot of moves either. pretty much 4 of these Pokemon were almost useless. Probably Clefairy was the next. Clefairy's a solid Friend Guard user. But apart from that, all the other ones were very, very gimmicky. So this one had Thunder Wave, Sweet Kiss, and Seismic Toss and Copycat. I was hoping it had like counter, but it doesn't learn it in this game, so that was a little bit unfortunate. The EVs on it are Max Health and Max Special Defense, and we got Calm Nature. Now, I tried to use like Thunder Wave and Sweet Kiss to my advantage there, to paralyze and confuse the opponents. Then I'd go for some like Seismic Toss damage. Maybe if I seen like a move that was cool, I'd go for Copycat and copy that. So the opponent's gone for a Terra Ghost Sinister. Toxtricity, of course, is going to taunt my Happiny. They're in a pretty comfortable, easy position because I'm using Pokemon that don't really learn a lot of moves either, let alone doing anything at all in a doubles battle. So I'm going for a struggle. A Spuper is going to feign itself, which is fine. It sort of did its job already. And now we're going to go into Vivillon. Now, this Vivillon set was a little bit different from a normal Quiver set. I had to build it a little bit differently in its EVs because it needed to carry like big time. So we got Bug Buzz, Iron Defense, and Draining Kiss. And the other move was, Quiver Dance. So this is a Max Health, Max Special Attack set. So I had to try and make this a set that would outspeed stuff after a Quiver Dance, do lots of damage, and heal my Vivillon so it could stay on the field for a long amount of time. And I gave it Terra Fairy too, and the item I gave it was Big Root. So with Draining Kiss, recovering 75% of the damage dealt and stacking with Big Root, which gives an additional 1.3. That gives it like a lot of recovery, right? So if I was managed to get like a couple of Quiver Dances up against special attackers, I was doing pretty right there. And with my other Pokemon, I could generally use like Follow Me and Helping Hand and stuff like that, to try and support it. So virtually Morsold and Vivillon were like more offensive Pokemon, and the rest were like support style Pokemon. It was the most I could kind of squeeze out of this team. I tried for like more of a sweeping set with max speed, but I found it wasn't really all that good. It's better to go like extra bulk so I could leave some attacks. So we're going to get hit by a Matrigotcha there. It's going to be healing up the opposing Sinister for some extra damage, but it doesn't really matter all that much here. A lot of the time I had to rely on either Morsold and Vivillon. If Morsold or Vivillon died, there was really no point continuing the battle because there was a lot of situations where that that did happen, or the opponent would get very, very lucky, and then I'd be left with like Happiny and Spuper and stuff like that. So I go for Draining Kiss here on the Sinister. That is going to take it out, and it's going to be able to heal me up too, which is really nice because I know that Toxtricity has got a poison like Sludge Bomb and stuff like that. So I've got a few Quiver Dances up. I've got max health. I should be able to tank this okay, right? But no, even after that, it's not going to be enough to be able to live that. So that's the end of the bulky Vivillon. So all I've got left now is Happiny and Jigglypuff. And this Jigglypuff is more of a single set, to be honest. But I had to get some extra damage on one of my Pokemon, and I thought I'll use that sort of set. So we're going for Seismic Toss, getting rid of the Toxtricity. This is the Carmine Stored Power set with Defense Kill and Pain Split. And I've got Terra Psychic too. Now, I'm going to get hit by another Sludge Bomb. Jigglypuff actually lives that due to, Friend Guard, and then they went for the Iron Hand. So they're going pretty sweaty here on my baby Pokemon team. So I'm going to throw Toxtricity onto the moon, and all we've got left is Golem Alola. Golem Alola's going to miss that, Rock Blast. I went for a Copycat here because I was hoping it would go for like something super effective against itself. And yeah, it turned out it didn't. So I threw a couple of rocks. I did 1 damage, and then the Golem Alola had a Quick Claw, and I think one Rock Blast probably would have fainted me. But anyway, it was a pretty good battle considering what team I was using, right? I really only had 2 good Pokemon, so pretty impressive, right? Let's get on to battle number 2. Oh, people, if you want to support the channel, if you enjoy the videos, make sure you hit that like button. Drop me a comment below there, and what do you think of these Friend Guard Pokemon? Okay, so next battle here, we got another one on the Poke Portal, and this is actually a pretty interesting battle. This really shows the powerful Spuper, right? So we've got a interesting electric team here. So instead of getting entrainment, I think they were trying to pass Lightning Rod. onto another target there, and Spuper got lightning rods. So that means it's going to draw in all the electric types attacks, which is pretty funny. So I'm drawing in those attacks. Alola Raichu is going to go for Focus Miss on Morsel, but since I'm a bug type, it actually works pretty well for fighting type moves. So I'm going to actually get my Tidy up here, and then I can start going for a Population Bomb. Now, they've got one pretty scary Pokemon on their team that I have to sort of like prepare for there. So I've got a speed boost, I've got an attack boost. Spuper is doing its thing there with Rage Powder, redirecting all those moves, as it possibly can at the moment. And now I'm going to go for the Population Bomb on the Raichu and get rid of that, because that's a fast Pokemon, and it hits hard as well. So that's one Pokemon down, which is nice. At this point in time, Plusle doesn't really seem to be that much of a threat. It seems to really only have like status moves or things that aren't going to do too much damage to me. So I was like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on the Pokemon that are coming out on the left, because I believe they're going to be more of a threat. So out comes a Zebstrika. Good to see Zebstrika, and I'm able to take that one out pretty easily with the Population Bomb there, which is nice. Zebstrika is very, very fast too. The next move Plusle's going to use is the Discharge. That's not going to hit my Spuper. It's going to give me a special attack boost, but it is going to land against the Morsel. I went for String Shot here. String Shot's actually pretty good in doubles because it hits both the opponents and it drops their speed by 2 stages. Next Pokemon is going to be Morpeko. Morpeko's pretty quick, but after that Tidy Up, I'm going to be able to outspeed that too, and it's not a very bulky Pokemon either. It's got a berry that was a Citrus Berry, but since this move it's like 10 times, it's very obviously very, very strong. Really, I had to have this Morsel because my team was absolutely terrible without it. Next Pokemon to come out here obviously was another electric type too. I got Encored. My Spuper had to keep using the same move, which is String Shot. So I guess that stopped me from using Rage Powder or anything like that, redirecting the attacks. So now we've got a Miraidon. I was like, well, I've got a attack boost and a speed boost. This is pretty good damage against that. We'll see what happens here. So I'm outspeeding Miraidon. Good damage there. We're getting like, I was looking at the damage like, well, that's going to take like 9 or 10 hits to take it out. But remember, this was a Friend Guard set, so it wasn't doing that, all that much damage at all at the start there. So if I didn't get that boost, it definitely wouldn't have fainted. So another entrainment fail for the Plusle there. We're getting a Morsold and Spuper sweep at the moment. And next Pokemon is Dedenne. That's their last Pokemon. I just went for Population Bomb again, and then I was going to finish off the Plusle for the Morsold Spuper sweep. And there we go. We got the Salty Cancel. And I hope you enjoy that one, people. It's a quick battle. But Spuper did very, very well there. In a lot of battles, even a lot of battles I didn't do that great in at the start, Spuper and Morsel did very, very well because of the the tight matchups, and I guess they didn't expect it to be as bulky as as it is, right? Now, next battle here, this one is against Molotov, and we have a pretty cool team here. We got a team of Capsicums, or maybe you American people call them bell peppers or whatever. We call them Capsicums here. You go to the shop, right, and you buy that green, that red, and that yellow capsicum, and you chop them up. Over here, right, we call like bell peppers. They're like a capsicum, right? And they've got like this cheese in the middle, but I think it's a little bit different over there. We have all the different words for stuff. So anyway, we got this. I'm getting hit by a Spicy Extract, dropping and raising some stats there, and I thought, oh, that'd be a nice move to Copycat. So I decided to go for Copycat, and I'm going to use Spicy Extract on the Scovillain, and that's going to give it an attack rise, which was bad, but it did drop his defense though. Now Spuper's going to go for the String Shot and drop the speed of the Capsicid, and the I guess they're all named it's like Jalapeno and Jalapeno and Caroline Reaper, like different spicy stuff. Like my people's on stream want me to eat these hot as chili and stuff. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And then there's this other one. I think it's called a Ghost Pepper or something like that. And then it's like that other one, that chip challenge. Like you eat this chip and it's like super hot. But I think that got banned, right? Anyway, we've got this happening, and Clefairy combination here. I'm healing up Happiny, and I'm paralyzing these Capsicums. We got to paralyze. I don't know how that Capsicid over there is still on the field at the moment. It keeps using Solar Beam over and over, and actually doing some pretty good damage. I guess it wasn't too much of a worry because it wasn't that fast anymore, and I was able to heal off most of the damage that it was doing. So I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. That's just a bit of damage on both of them, and this is a physical set. It's like, oh, this is bad because That actually got an attack boost from the spicy extract from before. So here's another solar beam from the little Capsakid. Now, I actually haven't done this team before, like Capsakid and Scovillain. It's one of the few evolution teams for Generation 9 that I haven't done. So I'll definitely be doing, this is probably one of the few that I've missed out, and I'll definitely be doing it in the coming months, like next 3 to 6 months, right? I plan to finish all of those off. So we're going to bring in more salt here, and we're going to take out that Caroline Reaper. It's going to be very, very hot. Now, this was a disaster, right? The sun is still up at the moment too. The little Capsakid is firing off, multiple solar beams. I actually don't mind Capsakid. It's pretty cool. And that's going to be the end of the Clefairy. So I don't think it finally took out a Pokemon. So bye-bye Clefairy. We're in a lot of trouble here because we've already lost like 3 Pokemon. So I gotta sort of conjure something here. So I brought out my 2 best Pokemon at the same time. This is what's this? Is this the Ocean Vivillon? I'm pretty sure this is the Ocean Vivillon, and it was a disaster because I went for Population Bomb, and Pepper X had a Rocky Helmet. I was like, no! So every hit, I was taking Rocky Helmet damage. So I was like, man, there's no way I can take this thing out, right? I'm not gonna have enough health. Like I'm hitting it. I think I hit it like 6. Wait, that was like 4. That was like 6 or 7 times I hit the Capsakid. This Capsakid, it was a rare species of Capsakid. It had like all these spikes and stuff over there, like these massive, you grab it and it's got spikes all over it. So I got 7 hits, there we go. 7 hits on the Capsakid. I took this turn to go for a Quiver Dance because I really did need that extra boost in speed and offense with the Draining Kiss and stuff. So we got the Pepper X going for a sub here. It's like, oh, that's lucky, like, I have Bug Buzz on this so I can bypass that sub and I can feign it, right? That's going to be the strategy here. So I don't know, somehow for some reason, Capsakid is still on the field. I don't know what other moves they had on it, but it definitely, I guess Solar Beam was its best attacking move. So the Scovillain is going to have the Moody ability. I had a feeling when I seen the Subdue, so I need to thank that. I need to thank this Pokemon. So firstly, getting rid of the Scovillain with the Bug Buzz, that's going to bypass the subs. It's a sound-based move. And we've got Jigglypuff here. So I thought, well, Jigglypuff can set up some Calm Mines. And we're going to try and build this stored power, So we've got 1 Capsakid, but it doesn't end here, people. There is 3 Capsakids and 3 Scovillains. It's like a full team of Capsakins, right? It's like you buy 3 and get 3 for free. I don't know if that's ever been a thing. But anyway, we got Solar Beam on Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's able to live that pretty well. As you can probably imagine, all of these Pokemon, like these babies, they were all Everlight. Like Clefairy was, Jiggly was, Spewpa was, Happiny was a Focus Sash set though. That had like Terra Normal, Spewpa was Terra Bug, Jiggly was Terra Psychic, we had Fairy on Clefairy. I didn't really feel a need to change that. Vivillon was Fairy and Morsol was normal for extra Population Bomb damage. So we got a double Capsakid here. That's like there's like the green, the green one. Actually, I don't know. I quite like. I'm thinking which one I like the best. Like out of the green one, I kind of like the green one. Maybe I like the green one a little bit better. So anyway, we're gonna kiss a jalapeno, man. I don't know how to do that. That'd be like burning, right? That'd be absolutely burning. Okay, anyone that really likes hot food, you'd know this, right? So one day I ate this. Like someone brought this jar of like these. I don't know, they're like these little Capsicums, right? Or chili. We call them chilies here, right? I think you call them. I know you call them peppers or whatever. So it was like a really, really small red one. And I was like, oh, well, and then there's other really, really long red ones there. I'm like, all right, I'll pick the small one, right? Because it's obviously not going to be as hot. It's like a smaller one, right? And then I bit into it, and like the seeds just like, I don't know, the seeds exploded in my mouth. It was so freaking hot, right? And then after, of course, I found out that, the smaller ones are generally the hotter ones. So they obviously failed to tell me that at the start. So my mouth and like I was sweating, man. I was so sweaty, right? And my face was boiling and everything, man. Like I had to drink like milk and I had like cheese and stuff or whatever it was, to cool it down. I don't know what sort of one it was though, but it was this little one, and it was like, it wasn't completely dark red. It's kind of like it was like a blood red color, but I don't know what sort of chili that was. But man, that thing was hot, and that That was the last time I had that right. First thing, I quickly, this is when I found out, right, if you drink water, it just spreads all the heat around. Anyway, we got a Terra Scoville in here. It's going to be Terra Grass. This was like a growth set too. So obviously this team was based around the sun. They've got a lot of cool sun moves that you can use too. Quite a cool Pokemon. I would say Scoville is definitely one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. It's interesting. So we're going to go for a Terra Psychic Jigglypuff this time. Most of the time, I try to do Morpsalt or Vivillon, but sometimes I'd change things up to go for a Jigglypuff too, if I manage to get enough boost and stuff up. So Vivillon is going to be kissing that Capsican, and it is going to be fainting it. So all we've got left now is the Scoville. And I was wondering what they'd be able to do. Obviously, they must have some kind of fire move to use against me. So I'm going to go for Jigglypuff, Stored Power on Scoville, and it managed to take it pretty well. What's that called? Cayenne? Is that cayenne? Is that pepper stuff? Cayenne pepper? Am I thinking of the right thing? Oh no, I don't really know too much about hot foods because I'm not like a person that eats tons of hot food. I can handle a little bit, but not too much, right? No temperature of the sun in my mouth or stuff like that. So unfortunately, for the opponent, I only got 2 bullet seeds to hit me, and Jigglypuff was able to take out the Scoville. So I mean, if I got hit, I think one more hit would have fainted me there, or on the bullet seed. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the pepper or the capsicum team, whatever you call it. Let me know if you call them peppers or capsicums. Let me know about that stuff. Always like to hear those different things. And let's get on to our 4th and final battle today. We have a battle here. This one is against Super Bowser, and we got a Friendguard versus a Friendguard ability team. I thought this would be pretty interesting. Now, at the start, I think I may have mentioned this, right? So basically, as you know, Friendguard reduces the damage by 25% from the attacking Pokemon. Now, things to think about this, right? It doesn't include stuff like, direct damaging moves. And when I say direct damage moves, I'm talking about stuff like, Final Gambit and Dragon Rage and a couple of moves like that, like fixed damage moves as well. So there are a couple of exceptions, to this ability, and stuff like Endeavor. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Counter Miracle, things like that. Super Fang, all those sort of things. And also one-hit KO moves, obviously. So there are limits to what this ability can do. Now, there are, with multiple Friendguard Pokemon, there are stacks of it too. So if both of the Pokemon allies have Friendguard, also in a triple battle, it also works super. Unfortunately, there's no triple battles here at all. I kind of wish they bring triple battles back. That's a really, really cool thing. Maybe one day they'll bring it back. But there's all some different reductions behind that. But I think it's around 40-ish% after all the triple battle reductions. So it actually makes a really big difference. It's kind of cool that it stacks. So anyway, back to the battle. Just a little bit of trivia there for you for the Friendguard ability. There's not too much else to it. So we've got this Copycat, Happiny, and Clefairy combination going. So I thought this would be fun to do. With Clefairy uses Dazzling Gleam, then I Copycat it with Happiny. But Happiny doesn't really do too much. I mean, Happiny doesn't really do too much of anything. Let's be real, right? I was really hoping it learned counter, because that would have been a good way to get rid of physical attackers. Or Copycat was sort of the fun thing that I could use here. So my opponent does have exactly the same team, but the moves we used were actually very, very different. So we had an Icy Wind user here, doing damage and dropping stats, and we had Jigglypuff as a metronome user. Now this got Mortal Spin before, which was pretty good, right? Because that actually poisoned both of my Pokemon, and it had Amnesia there. Unfortunately, it got Amnesia right at the end there, and it didn't have a lot of health left, so I was able to take out the Jigglypuff from there. And both our teams are very bulky too, considering they all had Friendguard. So Happiny was taking those moves pretty well, actually. The next Pokemon to come in is going to be Spooper, and I was wondering what this Spooper set would actually be, because I ran mine as a bulky defensive Rage Powder set, and it actually worked rather well. This Spooper was actually offensive Struggle Bug set, because Struggle Bug Struggle actually hits both of the opponents. Probably the first time we ever see a Spuper, hear a Spuper being, a very threatening struggle bug offensive set. So, Happiny is on its last legs here from the confusion and the poison. I actually managed to get around a lot of those confusions, but I hit myself in the end, and then I died to the poison there, which sucks. I wanted to get like a final attacking move off on both of them, but that is going to be the end of my Happiny, the very bulky special offensive Happiny. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to bring is going to be Vivillon. I thought this would be a good time to try and set up some Iron Defenses and Quiver Dances and stuff. There was a Stealth Rock put onto the field as well. So I'm going to be going for a Helping Hand Bug Buzz here on the Spuper, and Spuper gets dropped. So that definitely wasn't an Everlight set. I'm not sure what sort of item they had. Anyway, Happiny's going to go for an Icy Wind, which is obviously good against Vivillon. Plus the Stealth Rocks. And Clefairy doesn't have too much longer to live here. I was thinking I might be able to get like a Heal Pulse off onto Vivillon if possible. So we've got a Morphle coming out here. Now we have a Terra. I was like, it wasn't Morphle, it was actually Happiny with Terra Ice. I'm like, it's going to be Terra Ice, Icy Wind, unless it's like got Terra Blast as well, but I'm thinking it's going to be Icy Wind. So I went for Helping Hand as well, and then the Morphle went for Helping Hand too. So we had a double Helping Hand. There was 4 hands on the field here, right? So go for Bug Buzz, and that is going to be enough to take out the Happiny. So that would have really, that definitely would have hurt on my Vivillon. I'd say the crit would have taken it out for sure. Next Pokemon's going to be the Vivillon. Now, what is that one again? What type of Vivillon is that? It's not the Pickle type. I know that it's green. Is that the... Oh, man. It's not... Is it Meadow? I've forgotten my Vivillon types now. What is it, people? Come on. Like, I got to remember this. It's not Savannah? Oh, man. I've forgotten what the green one is. All right, we're just going to call the Pickle Vivillon. So anyway, we're going to take some Stealth Rock damage there with the Spear, which is fine. We got another Helping Hand on this Vivillon. Now, this Vivillon was no joke. It had Helping Hand Air Cutter, which was pretty scary, and also had Solar Beam too. So it had a Helping Hand Solar Beam, went for my Jigglypuff. It had a Power Herb as well. I was like, I wonder how much this is going to do to Jigglypuff. And Jigglypuff lives a crit. I was like, that's really impressive, right? So I went for a String Shot on the Spuper, dropping both the opponent's speed here. It seemed like the Morphle didn't really have any offensive moves, or if it did, they were just... I don't know, they definitely didn't have any good moves on there, from what I'd seen so far. Apparently it had like Mud Slap and something else. So another Helping Hand on the Vivillon here. There's no more Power Herb, so I'm expecting like an Air Cutter, and Spuper actually lived that, which is really surprising. So now Spuper's going to go for the Stun Spore, and that's going to paralyze the Morphle. So we've got some good paralysis going there. Which is going to be very, very good. Hopefully, I can maybe get a Paralyze before it uses Helping Hand. So, my next idea was to go for the Pain Split on like the Jigglypuff and get some health back, and then try and get some boost in. Now, the Jigglypuff, I believe I didn't have any health in that because I ran Pain. Yeah, so this Jigglypuff was Max Defense and Max Special Defense, Bold Nature, and it had Everlight as well. Since it's already got 115 base health, there was no point me using Pain Split there. It was better to increase both of my defense and special defense because they were so low. So we got the Pickle avoiding the attack. I don't know how it did that. And now we're gonna go for a Jigglypuff stored power. We're gonna get this powerful attack. So the Pickle lives it very well. It's a bulky Pickle, and Crunch actually doesn't take out Spuper, which is pretty surprising. Like the Frengard Spuper was an absolute unit. Now the Pickle's gonna go for a Poison Powder. That actually lands on Spuper, and Spuper is gonna die to poison. Like it is a very bulky Pokemon. Like after this video, you're gonna try out Rage Powder Spuper. I know you are. So it's good, right? Match it with like or partner it with like a normal type Pokemon. It definitely won't let you down. So we're gonna see if we can get some more stored power damage here on the Pickle. I was like, maybe I could get another Calm, like one more Calm Mind will allow Jigglypuff to do heaps of damage. So we're gonna bring in my final Pokemon, being Morphle here. We're gonna go for I actually went for a low kick. I wanted to see the damage on Morphle. It did nothing because obviously a little mice isn't very heavy at all. Unless I don't know, unless it eats like let's say the family of 4 eats like 4 massive pieces of cheese, then I reckon they'd be pretty heavy, right? So we're gonna go for a store power on the Vivillon again, and that's enough to take out the Pickle. So I think that's it. I don't think Morphle had any other moves at this point, apart from Crunch. That would seem to be its best move, like Crunch, and apparently had Mud Slap as well, and then you use Helping Hand. I can't remember if it had any other like moves than that. So some more poison damage on Morphle. I'm going to go for a Stored Power here, and then we got an Igglybuff as the last Pokemon. So Igglybuff I know is going to, definitely faint there to pretty much any move, maybe even a Stored Power. I went for the Population Bomb on the opposing Morphle, and you can see that's not doing really a lot of damage. It really isn't. So without that tidy up, that was like, what's that, 6 or 7? It must be 7 or 8 hits there. I'm pretty sure that was like 7 hits to take out that Morphle, which was pretty sad. So Jigglypuff is going to outspeed the Igglybuff, and Igglybuff is not going to live the Stored Power. And that is the end of the Friendguard versus Friendguard team. Hope you enjoyed this cool ability, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Peace out, people.